to Mindful Children. My name is Scarlett. I have 10 years of experience in the early childhood field, as well as studying early childhood. So if you have children in your professional life or personal life, then this is the place to be. Today we are actually going to continue off of a previous video about emotions, but that video talks more about the internal ideas, such as helping children self-regulate, helping children identify emotions. And we can definitely go more into detail about that, but I did want to go first more into detail about things that you can create and have within your classroom. Now, one of the things we talk about is having a designated safe place in every classroom. Doesn't matter the age of the child, because even in toddler rooms and infant rooms, children can understand that some spaces are used for specific reasons. So having a designated place for a child to self-regulate when they have a strong emotion is really important, because every other child in the room will respect and give that child that space. And it may take a little bit of time for children to understand that concept, but it is possible 100% in every classroom. Of course, there may be some children that struggle with respecting boundaries a little bit more than others, but those are individual cases that we expect in this early childhood field. Now, when it comes to creating a designated safe place, it is great if you can have an area with a teepee or something that is built in, like a little hole in the wall I've seen in centers. Now that is wonderful if you have access to something that is that big and that easy to identify for the entire classroom and to have that designated space. But I know that that is not always possible in every classroom or in every center or even in your home. So in that case, I suggest using recycled materials to create that space. And something that I like to do is actually use a recycled tire, because a recycled tire can fit one child. Yes, more than one child can squeeze into that space, especially when we're looking at toddlers, but it is definitely more comfortable for one child regardless of the age. So we can use recycled tires to have as a designated quiet space. When a child is in there, everyone understands that that child needs alone time. And you can put that tire in a place that is kind of more towards quiet play, such as the reading area, and more away from the louder play, such as where you do building blocks, where there's going to be falling over of towers and things like that. Now, in this designated safe place, it's great to have sensory things like fabric materials to touch, blankets to cuddle in, stuff used to hold, sensory balls, sensory bottles. You can even use essential oil bottles that are empty but still have that smell, so they can open those bottles and smell them. Now, this depends on what's safe for the age you are working with, of course, but these are simple materials that you can have to make it a cozy place for a child to self-regulate. Here are some materials I have here, and I will show you, that you can just create and have for children to access at any time or when they want to figure out what they're feeling. So one thing that I have here is faces with emotions. And what you can do is you can actually set out a small hand mirror, and children can look at what their face is and try and match it to a face that's on here. And you'll probably find that children will kind of start playing around, like they'll see a sad face and start to copy it. They'll see a tired face and start to copy it. And that can just help them to calm their body down, which calming down before talking and problem solving is important. Another way you can set this up is by having, depending on the age of the children, you can have the face and the word in a separate way. These don't match, but and then they can match the word and the face. And if your children are old enough to do this, you can also include the languages of the child. So you can have the words in different languages. This one is in Spanish. Now, it's important to start introducing the different types of emotions when children are already calm, such as during circle time or During outdoor play, you have a little setup, or during nap time, or during snack time or lunchtime, you can casually talk about it, and you can include some prompts. So you can, this is great for younger children that are really just being introduced to different words. So you can ask them, what do you see here? Tears. What do you think this face means, right? So you're talking about what they see and the emotion that can go along. So tears might be sadness. Here there's a smile, so smile might be happy. And what's great is that you are also connecting colors to emotions, which can help too. You can really expand on that. So you can use yellow for happy, red for angry. We can see the frown in the eyebrows, and talk about what does anger look like. Now this is great for younger children as an introductory to emotions. Now for older children that have already a little bit of background knowledge on emotions, you can even provide a laminated blank face. And children can work on this together when they're happy or calm, just as a fun activity, or save it in a calming bin so that you leave it next to the designated safe area for calming down. And children can choose a color to go with their emotion, and once they choose a color, they can write down what they want to feel or how they currently feel. So maybe they'll choose blue for sad and they'll put sad, but they can erase it if you provide an eraser, and you can get them to say, okay, well, what do you want to feel? I want to feel yellow, I want to feel happy. What does that look like? And they can draw it out. So this is great, or just flip it to the other side, which is nice too. So this is great for children to start creating on their own, and they might even, to calm themselves, just start drawing, which is really soothing with different emotions. They might be attracted to pink, and they just start drawing on whatever they feel called to do. So these are some tools, some physical things that you can have in a classroom. Let me know if you want to see more, and if you have any questions. I'd love to hear what you have in your classroom that has been working really well for you. Well, I hope that you watched our first video about emotions, because in addition to talking about the more internal environment, such as regulating emotions, labeling them, we also showed our physical environment. We showed different ideas. These are some, there's more over there, so hopefully you guys find some ideas or inspiration between these two videos. Subscribe for more, and make sure to give this video a thumbs up. See you next time.